Good. So what will happen is that you just have to look at the camera for a few seconds with me. I will introduce you, and after I've done that, I'll turn around and we just have a conversation, just like what you saw. You don't have to look at the camera. You know, you just look. You can look this way so the camera can. But you can, and then we just like have a coffee shop talk, or that sort of thing. But my best advice is that if you control your voice a little louder.
Okay.
Wait. Let me bring the camera closer. That's the only way. Ah, okay, great. Just to be sure. So you control your voice. So that's because we don't have the clip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's the only disadvantage. But I will try to get the clip. And sorry, this is just for show. So if I had a pen. Are you going for this show?
What is this?
This is a Singapore Toy Game Convention.
Oh.
You're going to enjoy this.
Really?
Yeah, I tell you, if you're an animator, you will love this.
Maybe.
Yeah.
When is it? In September?
Yeah, first second is on a weekend. So anyway, it's all about you now, Mr. Zoltan Pogonyi. How do
Zoltan Pogonyi.
Pogonyi.
Pogonyi. Pogonyi.
Pogonyi.
Yes. Pogonyi.
Pogonyi.
Stuff.
Pogonyi. Okay,
Pogonyi.
now, forgive me. I'm trying. Okay, can I just call you Mr. Zoltan?
Zoltan, yes. That's
Is it easier?
Yes.
I don't want to offend you.
I know.
Otherwise, some guy out there is going to hire, a hitman to hit me.
It's fine. It's fine.
You know.
I know in Asia here I have trouble with my name.
Pogonyi.
Actually, outside of Hungary, which is my home country, I have always trouble with my name to pronounce my name.
Okay.
People don't know. It's just too tough.
Okay, for the first time, I'll try to get it right. Hi, welcome to the National Critics' Choice Online News. And hi, I'm Robin Stienberg, and welcome to our show again. Today, we have a wonderful guest who is formerly worked with George Lucas Studios, also known as Industrial Light and Studios here in Singapore. And he's got a great deal of experience in his field, in the area of animation and other sorts of responsibilities that he has hold. And he's now a lecturer at the Nanyang Polytechnic. Now he's none other than Mr. Zoltan Pogonyi, who is with me right now on my show. Mr. Zoltan, welcome to the National Critics' Choice. Say hi. How do you find Singapore so far?
I find it very nice. It's a beautiful country. Super hot and super humid.
Super hot, super humid. So how long have you been living here in Singapore already? I mean, you have joined the Lucasfilm studios.
Yes, I joined the company in 2006, and I worked for them for almost 5 years.
Oh.
And then I changed to start to teach at Nanyang Polytechnic.
Wow. It must be a great change for you.
It was a big change. It was a very challenging change, but I didn't regret at all.
George, please, you didn't hear that. No, but you're going to get him back, right? Would you? Mr. Zoltan, what sort of expertise that you provide? Because I heard that you're doing something really rare, and that's not uniquely found, anywhere else in the world. It's got to do with this green and blue screens. Is that right?
Okay, yes, it's related to green and blue screens. My job at Lucasfilm was to work on visual effects, and I was a matte painter. Matte painter is somebody who takes care of the environment, whether extend existing sets, or he needs to remove something, to hide something, to cover something, or the third option, which is the most complex, to create something from zero. Total blue screen, nothing is behind the actors and actresses, and we need to create the environment digitally, usually. So this was my job, which is not really rare in the industry, because every effects house needs a matte painting department. Because why we need this, why we don't shoot on real locations? They do, but it's not all the case when they find the right location. something is always missing, or if it's a historical movie, it's not exists at all anymore, or is a sci-fi movie, it does not exist yet. So we need to create or extend the environment, the background.
Wow. So Zoltan creates a simulation, environment, which I think you guys may want to be more interested to get hold of his skill, if you're looking for one, that is, including your wedding package. Sorry, not to insult Mr. Zoltan, but really, and he was also responsible in creating some of the visual effects for Star Wars 3D animation. Is that correct?
Not Star Wars. The company created Star Wars.
Yes.
Lucasfilm and Industrial Light and Magic. Industrial Light and Magic was the effect company for Star Wars, and that was the starting point for the company. And through Star Wars, they became really famous and well known in the industry. We worked on many Hollywood blockbusters like Transformers, Iron Man, the latest Star Trek movie, the latest Indiana Jones movie, and many others.
And you did all that?
I worked all on those, yes.
And so how does it feel like?
It was great. It was a great experience. So when I said at the beginning of the interview that it was a great change, what I did after Lucasfilm, it doesn't mean that I didn't like to work there. It was a very great experience, and I learned a lot about matte painting, about filmmaking, and about the industry itself. I don't know if I left the industry for forever. It might be I will go back one day. I don't know yet.
But does a skill as a matte painter requires a lot of time?
Yes, it's a quite tedious job. It requires many skill sets, if I may say. As the name says, we were matte painters. But because we live in a modern world, we work digitally. Means we had to use computers. It's not painting anymore on canvas or glasses, which happened in the earlier times of filmmaking. When matte painters worked, they really worked with paint and brush, and they painted the first matte paintings on glasses. And with some tricks, they managed to combine these glass shots with the real action footages. But after a while, computer came in the game, and it made many parts of the work much easier, much faster, and much more complicated as well. It became a very complex task, because you need to have some classical painting skills, drawing skills, and you need to have some skills to deal with computers, with technology, with softwares. So it's a very, very complex task.
And so now you speak about complex tasks and skill sets. Did you graduate, from a very unique courses from universities or polytechnics?
In a way, yes. First I worked as a graphic designer back in my home country in Hungary for many years, and first I started to work on advertisements for an agency, and a few years after I quit this company and I focused more on graphic design, and I did some illustrations. I posted these illustrations, these 3D illustrations, on certain forums on the internet, and that was the way how Lucasfilm found me.
Oh, really?
Yes, which was like a fairy tale.
Is it? How did they find you? Was it on newspapers or video clip or?
No, on these forums on the internet, there are specific forums where people gathering and submitting their works, as I did. I submitted my 3D pictures, so I got some feedbacks from other guys who have the same hobby or same profession. So it was a very good way to learn from others. But Lucasfilm knows these and many other big companies. They know these places, these forums, these websites, and they hunting for people from these websites as well. And that was the way they found me. They found my works online on these websites, so they contacted me and they asked me if I want to work for them. And I was really surprised because at that time I was a freelancer. I worked at home in my little room in front of my computer, and one day I got an email from Lucasfilm,
Wow.
San Francisco.
Oh, that was
And
exciting.
It was exciting. It was so exciting that I almost
You almost cried?
threw this email in the trash bin, saying that it should be a spam. It's not true, because how
Really?
how could they find me? But then I read the email over and over again, and it sounded so real, so serious. So I didn't hesitate too much. I answered them that yes, maybe I'm interested, but what is the work about? So that was the way how we started
Oh.
to talk and negotiate about the work, about the job.
Wow. So they already given you a price way before that, I suppose.
It was some almost like a gift, like
Wow.
I don't know, really like
A
fairy tale.
lifetime fairy tale come true for Mr. Zoltan, and it can happen to you. If you do post some of your artwork on your forums, you never know. You might get picked up by Lucasfilm.
Absolutely, you are right. I'm telling this to my students because I think it's very important to realize that there is no wasted time, there is no wasted work if you invest some energy doing anything what you like to do, like drawing, painting, doing 3D maybe. Then use the internet. The internet, this publicity is for free, and you can be there, you can be online, you can be present, and many other people, maybe a famous company, can find you. And they are very surprised when I'm talking about this, but many of them, they started to do the same thing. They post their works, and I think it's very useful.
Wow. Now, what's the philosophy, in the work that you do, as a matte painter, and even as an animator, if I can say that? What sort of criteria do you set yourself when you create those images?
The most important thing when they hired me, and I asked them why they hired me, they saw on a few works of mine what was the point when they decided to ask me if I want to join the company. And the supervisor who hired me, he told me that what he saw in my works was the sense to realism, to create realism, photorealistic images, which is a skill which requires if you work on live action movies, on real footages, because you need to have a sense to realism to be able to create and extend those environments. So this is a very important thing. And of course, when we start to work on shots, on movies, many things are already settled down. Other people working on concept arts. Concept art is to establish a look of a shot. So when other artists are done, they make maybe just a loose sketch or maybe a more developed drawing to show us, matte painters, what kind of environment we need to recreate. And usually those concept arts are approved already by the director, by the visual effects supervisor, so we need to follow those concept art directions. In many cases, they don't provide concept art, and we ourselves, we need to imagine what we want to see as the future environment for this shot or sequence. So we need to recreate everything from scratch.
Wow. Now, when you create everything from scratch, what were the challenges that you face? Do you actually have to create various simulations for them to choose?
Simulations, literally simulations, we don't need to do. We don't need to create. We work on static environments always, but of course we need to do our own researches. In many times, internet can provide a lot of reference photos. If not, we can go out, we can grab our cameras and we can shoot photos, which is a very important skill set as well. You need to be able to imagine what you need to see in your mind already, to visualize, and then go out and look for the right references. Trees, for example, when we worked on Indiana Jones, it was a very lucky coincidence that the studio is built in a tropical environment, so we were able to find a lot of trees which are from tropical environment. In the Indiana Jones movie, we needed to recreate some very heavy jungles. So it was easy, we just went out, we waited for the right moment, for the lighting conditions, and we shoot tons of photos. And it was for free, and we could reuse those photographs in our map paintings. It was a big help.
Now, what was the secret of your success so far? You know, being a matte painter, having discovered by Lucasfilm, you know, to do great stuff. Was it pure luck, or was it perseverance, or what is it?
I think everything all together. I think you need to have some talent. And when I was a kid, my environment, my family first, they told me I'm talented in drawing, and that gave me such a boost that I kept drawing all the time. Because when I showed to my family members, then to my friends in the school, everyone gave me very positive feedback. So I was kind of successful through my drawings. So this gave me a lot of nice experiences and made me want to draw more and more and paint more and more. So I kept practicing, and the invested energy wasn't wasted. I do drawing since I was a little kid, and because I got so many positive feedback, and I kept practicing, I got to the point when I had to choose a profession, or at least a direction, and I always knew that I will do something related to art for sure, because this is what I really enjoy.
So at what age did you start drawing?
I don't remember.
Wow, it could be as young as 8, huh?
Maybe even
Wow.
earlier.
Wow.
And I need to say a big thank you to my parents, because we had always a piece of empty white blank paper at home, and some pens or pencils. They always provided me what they could afford to support me
Wow.
in this field. So that was a big help, that they realized that I have some talent and they let me do.
Amazing. Now, back to today's terms here in Singapore, and you know, and your experience with Lucasfilm Animation Studios. Was there any probably lessons learned? You know, would you be able to give like 3 pointers from this experience, and what advice would you give for aspiring, you know, animators and artists?
Whoa. This kind of work and this whole industry, film industry, the post work, the visual effects work, this kind of any job in this field requires a lot of patience and a lot of work. So everyone who wants to get into this industry, they need to be aimed to the highest quality. They need to be able to work long working hours constantly without losing the passion, because that's the most important thing. Because this is not a factory. You cannot work as an artist if you feel that you need to produce the same thing day by day. No, every movie is a different challenge, every shot is a different challenge. You need to be creative, you need to be a good problem solver, you need to be able to work in a team, because you cannot solve everything alone. So it's a pretty complex task.
So, speaking about complex tests here at the Nanyang Polytechnic with Zoltan himself, and here at the National Quiz Choice Online News at Hyatt. Thank you for joining me, and now that you've learned what it takes to be one of the greatest designers, painters, at Lucasfilm, please do not give up hope. There's still hope, and like you said, just keep on trying. Robin Stienberg, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you. That was good.
Thank you very much.
That was good. I think it's a very